Peace. My name is Victoria. I'm the EDU brand strategist, and we're going to get into this interview with Caden about his 10K months. Peace. We are back with another EDU interview talking about the success that people are having with Amazon. We are here with Caden today. Caden has made a little over 10K in 1 month with the EDU Elite program, and y'all know we have to find out exactly what Caden did, talk to him a little bit, and discover how this 10K was even possible in 1 month. So Caden, welcome. Please give us a little bit about your background and why did you even start an Amazon business?
Alrighty, thank you. I appreciate the welcoming. Well, firstly, I lived in Louisiana for all of my life until I was 18. I graduated high school, and then me and my family moved to Texas. Right when we moved to Texas, my mom actually found one of Will's webinars on a Sunday. So she was like, Caden, I think you'd be really good at this. I need you to hop on this webinar with me. So I did, and it was the script wrote itself, you know. I joined the program in July. Took a little bit of time to really understand what I was doing. And then in September, I really started selling. My first 2 or 3 months, I think my first 3 months, I did 10K in total in those 3 months. And then when December hit, I finally hit my first 10K month, and got a little bit of taste of what Q4 was like. I'm super excited to experience my second Q4 this year. And then this past January, I was able to hit 10K again consistently. And so I feel like I've been able to really start to get a good understanding, not just a good understanding of what I'm doing, but figuring out how to keep it consistent and then scale it on from here.
Right. That's amazing. And you're pretty young, am I right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm 19.
Wow. So 19 and making 10K months. That is amazing. And
Thank you.
I mean, you mentioned watching that virtual master class, right? Like the free
Mhm.
master class, you mentioned that. So what was it about it during that class that like really pushed you to say, you know what, I'm actually going to do it. I'm actually going to step forward and start this business.
Um, I think when I figured out that you could, outside of just doing wholesale and, looking at all the big name brands, once I saw, or Will was saying, you could go inside of retail stores like Sam's and Costco that let you buy however much of the things you want. I was like, wow, well, like that's at my fingertips every single day. Um, so I was like, I gotta give this a try, because if other people are doing this volume in this game, then not only do I feel like I could do it, but I've got uh a lot of time ahead of me to really figure it out.
Yes. And you know what? Speaking of time, you did mention that, you started in July. You kind of got your feet wet, kind of figured out what was going on, and then things really started to boom in September. So during that time that you were kind of adjusting, how was your time in the program with the coaches? Like what were you working on? How were you getting things together during that time?
Well, firstly, the coaches are awesome. They Two Wills specifically kind of took my hand from the get-go, and because I had the envision of just doing FBA when I joined. I feel like almost everybody does when they're first doing Amazon. And then you kind of slowly figure out that you should try FBM. It might be better, or it might help you to do both, and vice versa. So he was able to definitely that I think that's what I was really struggling with at the beginning, really figuring out which type of business model I wanted to do. And I just had a misconception of not really knowing what the difference between the two was. I kind of thinking you really had to pick one and not the other.
Right.
But once Two Wheels kind of directed me in the way of both, to where I could kind of, test the waters with FBM. And if I like what I see, go ahead and push it FBA to where I'm able to delegate my own time. And that's when I was like, once I figured that out, I started listing things FBM, figuring out what actually was going to sell right for me, and
Right.
then it was it from there.
Right. Wow. Smooth sailing from there. And for our viewers who don't know, so Amazon FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. So that's when Amazon is handling your product and sending it out to the customers on your behalf. And then FBM is fulfillment by merchant. So your orders are being fulfilled by you. You are personally packaging
Yeah.
up your orders and then shipping them out. And so, he mentioned Coach Two Wheels, one of our amazing coaches in the program. And Two Wheels, this is one of many shout outs that he has and is going to get, because he's one of our top coaches in the program. And I'm really grateful that you, Caden, were able to kind of have your hand held and kind of walk through and guided into the program, guided into the business, especially, with you being so young. Like, I feel like with any age, it's good to have a lot of guidance. And that's the biggest thing that we have with the EDU program is that guidance, because starting a business, it can be spicy. Okay. It can be scary, and it can be a lot on you at once. When you actually have guidance to kind of help you, show you where to go, show you what to do, show you how things actually happen, give you knowledge. Because like you
Yeah.
said, you were thinking you were going into this all FBA. And then once you got more knowledge, more guidance, you're like, you know what, let me try FBM. And now look at you making 10K.
Yep. Before I joined the program, I didn't know how to sell things online, specifically Amazon, and now I do.
Right. Amazing. And you know what? We're really happy to have you. And I wanted to ask, what is the ultimate goal with your Amazon business? Like what is it that you're foreseeing for your future? What is that big why that got you started?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of within this younger generation, a lot of people, don't want to go to college, figure something out. A lot of the times, I feel like it's something to do with e-commerce or online. Maybe it might be trading or whatever. To just kind of figure out the a different way of making it to that next level. Um, and once I was able to see that people really do push the amount of volume and to have that financially free life by just doing this with Amazon, like I want to give myself, not only myself, my family that as well in the future.
Yeah.
So I feel like Amazon will be a very, very, very big leading factor into why I'm able to do that in the future.
Yes, financial freedom, financial
Yes,
freedom, and
yes,
starting a business, especially here in 2024, is one of the best ways that you can lead to financial freedom. And it's not just a cakewalk. It's not all easy. It's gonna take some work. I mean, you
mhm,
you know for yourself, you're doing FBM, so you're packaging your own orders. You're literally putting in the work,
yep,
but it's going to pay off. All this effort is definitely going to pay off. And I think it's beautiful that financial freedom is your overall goal. So when it comes to all the success you've been having, how do you think that came about? Like, what type of products are you selling, without telling us specifically?
yeah. So I heard something when I first joined, because whenever I feel like when you first start, it doesn't even have to be Amazon on anything to do with reselling. You're like, what do I sell? And like even other people, that's the main question I get. Well, they're like, what do you sell? And I'm like, I don't know what I sell either. Like I just look at the numbers, like if the numbers are right, that's kind of where I start. And then obviously as time goes, I feel like you'll slowly find your niche. You'll kind of settle into where you find you're doing best, and you'll start to go deep within those categories. So
Right.
for me specifically, I do a lot of um, grocery items, whether it's FBM and FBA, and then I'm trying to move into a little bit of apparel and toys as well.
Nice, nice. And see, you're kind of in different areas, and I feel like with Amazon, it's kind of like running a Walmart.
Yeah,
Walmart doesn't just have one thing or one area
correct,
or one category. It
correct.
it really is, multiple different areas. And so I like that you mentioned that you really look at the numbers. You
Yeah,
really look at the one of my favorite artists, Larry June. He says numbers a lot, and I
all
realized that
about
in life and business in a lot of different areas, it's all about the numbers, and you're
Yeah.
certainly producing the numbers. So how do you think that EDU has helped you when it comes to the numbers? Like what do you mean when you say that?
Um, well, I sure I kind of, took some classes in high school here and there and might have learned about it a little bit, but coming into this from just a business standpoint, I didn't have a clear understanding of what ROI was, what or how to calculate ROI or truly calculate profit margins. And so actually, I guess more towards business in general, the business side of things. Um, I was able to learn a lot about, the lingo, the terms you need to know in order to succeed in business. And that's been a very driving factor into instead of this just being, me casually reselling, actually turning this into a business that will scale itself one day.
Right. Right. Wow. I love that answer. And scale is a really important word because, once you start, I mean, you can have some success, but you don't want to stay in one box. You don't want to stay confined. You want to continue to
Right.
grow, continue to scale. So with that being said, how do you project yourself to scale, utilizing EDU? So you've made it to 10K. How do you see yourself, moving forward and scaling larger?
Yeah. So when it comes to actual product finding, like I said, when I jumped into EDU, the thing that kind of had me was knowing that I could go into a Sam's or Costco or just any retail store around and really find products for Amazon to sell at a profitable margin, which is arbitrage. And I've been able to not only push these numbers with arbitrage, but I've seen other people push larger numbers with this business model.
Mhm.
And not only that, but I also see that in the long run, a lot of people turn to wholesale. That's kind of the end goal, wholesale, because you can buy things in bulk and it not fully automates the business, but at some point it's more, you're talking on the phone with your sales reps, finding out what products they have and this and that. It becomes more business. And I feel like that's where I will be, with help by the coaches that already do wholesale, I'll be able to learn a lot from them uh, to really know what's the next steps of doing it big. I just got my first wholesale order in yesterday, actually. So
Nice. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. I mean, I feel like I have to ask this question for the viewers out there. What do
Mhm.
you think is one tip or one major word of advice that you could give people when it comes to starting an online Amazon business?
So as far as Amazon, I hear, well, I hear a lot, I can't find products or you're just having trouble with product research, I guess. We'll just kind of make that the general topic.
Mhm,
With that, product research is probably 95% of what this business actually is, whether you're doing it or somebody else is doing it for you.
mhm,
Um, and that's like the real key. So whether you're extremely good at it in the first month or the fourth month, you should look at the entire business not as something that you're going to just try and see if it works, and if it doesn't, it's going to, you just stop it. It's something that it's a skill set that if you take 4 5 6 months to build, you'll not only have that forever, but you'll be able to continue to build off of that.
mhm.
And it's if you stay consistent, like it's only going to grow. There's only one way, and it's
So,
up.
so, so consistency. So put in the work and maintain consistency.
Absolutely.
Okay, nice. I know another thing that you mentioned earlier, we kind of talked a little bit about it, is numbers, right? So if you don't mind sharing, how much did you utilize? Like, how much capital did you have to start investing to start this business? Because I know that a lot of people out there really think that you absolutely need $20,000. You absolutely need $10,000. Now, as that would be very helpful to the starting of any business,
Mhm.
it's not absolutely necessary. So if you don't mind sharing, how much did you have to go ahead and start this business?
So for products only, I had about $900, so right under $1,000 to start. And
Wow.
then, I mean, obviously you need a couple softwares to product analyze, but truly you when it comes down to it, if you just do manual sourcing, um, you only need Seller Amp and Keepa, and together those are right under $50 a month. So,
Right,
uh,
right.
yes, I
So
would say 950.
okay, so nine fifty. Wow. And so, obviously this is a real business. This is legit. So you need LLCs, you need permits. So is this 950 including our LLC and our resellers
Oh
permit?
no, this is
Okay,
just
okay.
products. 900
So
for products
okay,
specific.
gotcha. So aside from your reseller's permit, 950. And you know what? I appreciate you sharing that because that's a really reasonable answer. I feel like that's something that, a lot of people have as far as like the average amount. And so
Mhm.
that is really doable. That's really doable. And I think that it's really important to just start with what you have.
Yeah,
Start with what you have. I mean, you're obviously the more the better, the more the merrier.
yeah,
The
yeah.
the more you have, the more room you have as well. But I appreciate you sharing that because it truly is about numbers, but not so much of the fact to where you want to allow money to keep you from starting the business and getting to that
Starting.
that
Yeah,
financial freedom.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so what do you think is the best part of EDU Elite program in your opinion?
I would say outside of obviously having, access, one-on-one access to the coaches, to book the one-on-one calls, and then I think the weekly team calls are great, but just having the actual community in itself, it's you can't do this by yourself. Like I'm by myself, right? I do the business model by myself. I have my store by myself, but I have all of these people that I can kind of lean on when I have a problem, or if I just want to talk about Amazon related things. You have this community that's all like-minded individuals trying to reach the next level in their business as well. And to get to that next level in anything you do, you need that. You need other people that are headed to the same, goals.
Yes, that is very, very well put, Kaden. Very well put. I mean,
Thank
there's a famous proverb that says, if you want to go far, I mean, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so that's one of the things about the EDU Elite program is that community, having people around who are going, like you said, the same exact direction that you're going. They're running the same exact business. They're going to have similar challenges. They're going to have similar obstacles and similar success as well, because we don't just want to talk about the downside, but when you're
Yeah,
succeeding, and you know how we post in our sales channels, we have people who are coming to support you. Oh, you made 10K. Oh, congratulations. Oh, you made 12K.
yeah,
Congratulations. You made 1K. Congratulations. You made $200. Congratulations. Because with a
yeah,
business, you're gonna have up seasons, down seasons, hills and valleys. But overall, that community is what really keeps that drive
good,
going. Is having
huge.
everybody together. And
Yeah.
so I do want to ask for the people, how much time do you have to put into your Amazon business? Are you working a 9 to 5? Like, what is your background in that regard?
Yeah, so I work at a restaurant about 3, 4 days a week, and I go to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays for about 4 hours.
Oh, wow. So
Uh,
you have a full life. You have a full life.
yeah, pretty much, and that's another thing too that I feel is pretty key, because a lot of people I think don't really realize how much time they actually have. Whether it's scrolling on the phone, this and that. Like I realize that myself, being young in this generation with the phones and that. I moved here and I started the business, and I outside of what I already do, when I just stopped to take the time to get on the computer and do these things, whether I think, 2 hours a day is fair to say that you could get something out of this business. It's 2 hours on the computer. Obviously, you still have to do some packaging and whatnot outside of it. But yeah, I would say I give it about at least 14 hours a week, 16 hours a week.
Wow. And I respect that. Much respect to you. And you said something that was key, is that most people don't realize how much time they have. Right. And
Yeah,
so I think it's a really easy thing to say. It's like, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for this." Like we get a traffic jam. I don't have time for this. We looking at our
mhm,
watches and we're trying to figure out, how can we move faster? So I feel that that is very beautiful. The fact that you said that, very key. The fact that you said that we have more time than we think we have. And so if
absolutely.
anybody out there is feeling discouraged, or you've been on the fence about trying to start your Amazon business, or I don't have time, I have children, I'm too young, I'm too old, there is no excuses. If you put in the work, if you dedicate a little bit of time, like Kaden said, 2 hours a day,
Yeah,
all the time that we have. If we look at our phones, we probably have 2 hours worth of social media time. If you have an iPhone, your phone is telling you consistently how much time you're
literally,
spending on your phone and where
literally
it's being
check.
divided. I'm sure you can squeeze something in there. If you want it, you can have it if you go for it. So if
Absolutely.
anybody is on the fence about starting an Amazon business, Kaden is only 19 years old. This man has made 10K consistently, and he is adamant about continuing this, about the EDU
Yeah,
program, having that community. So if you need somewhere to go, if you want some assistance, if you don't want to jump into the business without having any help. Caden mentioned having his hand held, starting this business really helped him
absolutely.
skyrocket, get these sales. Look, if anybody's out there, I'm telling you, the EDU Elite program is the way to go. Get some help. Don't do it alone. Caden, I want to thank you again for taking the time to share with us exactly what you did, your background, and just share a few different keys, even talk to us about the numbers. We appreciate you. Is there anything else that you would like to end off and tell the people as far as Amazon and the EDU Elite program goes?
Um, I'll repeat it again because I feel like it's huge. Before I joined EDU, I did not know a single thing about what I was doing in Amazon reselling, a single thing. 3 months later, I was starting to hit 10K months. So like it's there. It's there. So
90
it's
days. 90
yes,
days.
yes, 90
But
days.
that's amazing. That's amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that testimony. And we will be back soon with another interview with another successful story, because EDU is going to keep coming back with more successful people to bring you.
Yep,
So once again, Caden, thank you so
yep.
much. And we'll see y'all next time.
Yes, ma'am. Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Peace.